I'm Tom Sutmiller, and I'm glad to tell you that in October I'm going to be celebrating my 10th birthday after being diagnosed with cancer in 2003.
I'm a survivor of two kinds of cancer. Kidney cancer from May of '92, and most recently this January of another cancer.
Andy Miller.
My name is Jeff Miller, brother of Doug Miller. Lost a loved one, our brother, back in January.
My name is Barbara Skank. My father, Doug Cherry, was diagnosed with an incurable and untreatable form of cancer.
Was a partner with Brian Spiker in a company, and in 2003 he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and passed away 7 months later.
My name is Frank Perez. I've seen many cancer victims, survivors, and it became very real in my family when I had 3 members of my family experience cancer.
I'm David Spiker.
I'm Kelly Aronson.
Our father, Brian Spiker, died from pancreatic cancer in 2003. He was a inspiration not only for us, but for hundreds and thousands of other people.
I'm Janelle Barnett. I'm Bob's daughter. I am both a caregiver and I've lost a loved one to cancer.
I'm Melissa Spencer. I'm Janelle's sister and also Bob's daughter. And we lost our mom to cancer.
You know, I'm a 3-time cancer survivor, and yet I've also been a caretaker. My father passed away of lung cancer, and cancer has touched my entire family.
My wife and I lost our 16-year-old son to a very aggressive brain tumor. I remember he came home after his first day of his sophomore year in high school and looked at me and said, "Dad, I can't move my toes on my right foot."
As a father, that's probably the hardest part, is you wish you could step in your child's shoes for them and take that burden for them, but you can't. You have to let, first of all, your belief in God and your belief in the caregivers and the physicians and the nurses and medicine do it for you, and all you can do is support them. That's the absolute hardest part, I think, is not being able to carry that burden for them.
I didn't really ride my bike because my ankles hurt, and I couldn't sleep very well at night, and all the medicines made my stomach hurt.
Although we cure close to 90% of the children with ALL, there are some groups that we're as high as 99%. On the other hand, there's also some children with ALL that as a total, there's approximately a 80% cure rate.
My name is Bob Mills, and cancer has affected my life in many ways. Personally, I am a survivor of malignant melanoma, and I just passed my 10th year anniversary. I had 2 surgeries to remove the tumor and all of the lymph nodes on one side of my body.
My journey with cancer began when I was 35 years old and 14 weeks pregnant with my second son. I was told at that time that I had a rapidly expanding large cell lymphoma and I needed chemotherapy right away, and the doctor didn't know what it would mean for my baby.
I just finished finishing up my freshman year at UD when my father passed away. I'm one of 9, and it actually brought our family even closer together, being such a large family. But from the standpoint of my personal family, my wife Jennifer, my 2 boys, Charlie and Jake, they never had the opportunity to meet my dad.
So I said, "You've got to be kidding me. I've got 2 kinds of cancers, 2 different kinds of cancers, by the way, at the same time. Is that possible?" And they said, "Yeah, that's possible."
The most recent surgery I had actually was with something called the Da Vinci surgical robotic equipment, and though it was an over 6-hour surgery, the recovery was spectacular.
The thing I've definitely learned from it is you can't take life too seriously. people get mad about, silly things, your food at the restaurant comes back and it's cold. And I'm just trying to learn now to not get upset about little things like that because it's so not important. I've learned pretty much if you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
For me, I just couldn't believe it. That can't be. But it was. Almost to the day, wasn't it?
I myself had just I felt so lost for Doug too. I can't imagine in my own life, having somebody telling me that I have 3 weeks left. It's not something that I can actually even wrap my head around.
See this wonderful person, that's my father. He was a great man, lived a great life, got sick one day and was sick for 18 months. There was no form of treatment, there were no trials, there was nothing available. We traveled all around the country to all the major cancer centers, and there was just simply nothing that could be done for him. He lived 18 months from the day he was first diagnosed.
When I was a kid growing up, I had heard that we'd probably find a cure for cancer because I think there was a lot of talk back then with how they nailed polio and some of the other diseases that came across. And of course, cancer is ubiquitous, so you wind up in a situation where I guess there's just so many forms of it and takes so many different pathways.
I've been treated for 3 years for my cancer. I am a survivor.
Every single time they came back in the room and told us she was good, and we just keep praying that that's the way it stays.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think the joy of being in remission is quite as, it doesn't offset all the fear you had going in day one, because you worry about secondary cancers and things coming back, especially with leukemia. But it certainly felt good, and we certainly celebrated the end of her treatment and thanked God and thanked all of the people that helped throughout the process.
Early in my career, almost every conversation with the family was doom and gloom, so to speak. It varied from the type of cancer, and it still does. If I have a child with ALL, I can go in and talk with the family, give them a very good prognosis, a good cure rate, and then describe their therapies. The therapies still have lots of side effects, but I can certainly give them a good outlook.
I was 21, so I was a senior in college, so I wasn't at my graduation. And then my wedding day was hard. Dave walked me down the aisle. And then, of course, my son being born. It's tough.
I was affected by cancer with the loss of a loved one with my wife. She detected metastatic bladder cancer. I sought the best treatment that I thought was available, and it was at the stage where she fought a very good battle, but cancer had got into too many places in her body.
I started 6 rounds of chemotherapy. It was called CHOP therapy. They told me it was going to be rough, that this was a very strong chemotherapy because my type of cancer was very aggressive. So we started. They told me they didn't exactly know what it would mean for the baby, that there were several risks of premature delivery, growth restriction, problems with the baby. But I thought that's what any pregnant woman has to worry about. No one's guaranteed a healthy baby.
I was diagnosed with a grade 7 prostate cancer tumor, which would have taken my life had it not been for early detection and the ability to very early on intervene.
I know me personally, other than losing my mom, we've watched several kids that Allie has befriended at the hospital pass away. never want to go to a child's funeral, and I've done it numerous times now.
When I was 18, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease, and it was a long time ago. It was in 1978, and there wasn't a lot of treatment, and they gave me lots of radiation. And then when I had a reoccurrence, thankfully, through research, much like we're trying to raise money for today, new chemotherapy was developed, and I was fortunate to get that chemotherapy, and I'm here today, soon to be 52 years old.
So I sat him down on the stairs, and being a physician, did a little bit of an examination, and I just had a gut feeling that it was something bad. I had a gut feeling that it was a brain tumor.
Cancer research, I think, is something that we've seen great progress and strides with, and if we continue to fight the battle and to have the passion and drive that a lot of us here today are working towards, I think it's something that one day we will have a cure for cancer, and I'm optimistic that my children will be better serviced and better providers of treatment if it comes their way.
Thank you for giving.
Thank you. Thank you for giving.
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 Thank you so much for giving.
Thank you 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 for giving.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Your giving is very important. Thank you.